This is the Wrestling Replay. I'm Cato. Welcome to episode number 11. We are moving, but this week we have to talk about AEW, WWE, more importantly, MJF, the pipe bomb, CM Punk, what's going on with him, and the Hell in a Cell. We're going to give out predictions, talk about the pay-per-view and everything leading up to it. We got the go-home shows for Monday Night Raw, for SmackDown. Great action on AEW as well. Now, if you are a repeat viewer, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. If you are new, turn on your notifications so that anytime you get a video from us, you will be the first ones notified to go check it out. Now, with this being the go-home show to Hell in a Cell, we're going to go ahead and actually kick it off with AEW action. We're going to kick it off with a little bit of AEW Dynamite. Pretty good show. Really good show this week. I think my match of the week actually came in Rampage, though. Now, this week we did get to see CM Punk and FTR team up. I like that crew. I like what's going on there. I feel like it's a group of pure wrestlers, guys who just live and bleed this business. I love it. They went against Matt Caster and the Gun Club. Matt Caster and the Gun Club came up a little bit short, as you would expect. And I feel like FTR is really making a claim to go ahead and put those titles, put the AEW champions on notice, saying we are coming for those titles. Now, before we talk about MJF, we're going to say that for the end. That was the pipe bomb heard around the world. But he came on pretty much right after that matchup. And we got to talk about what happened after the pipe bomb situation actually went off air. Because I think they were trying to shape some things up. But unfortunately, for situations that happen, that probably will not be happening for a while. That storylines are going to be put on hold. So we did get to see the return of Miro. He was successful against Johnny Elite. It kind of sucks for Johnny, man. You came to AEW, people are excited to see you, and you're pretty much getting just fed to the wolves, man. Like, everyone's coming to you're just here to put people over that's don't need to be put over, essentially. I would love to see him really mesh it up with the younger talent on Dynamite. That would be pretty cool. I think that would make for some really good matchups as well. We got to see Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Darby Allin, and Matt Hardy. Darby Allin taking the place of Jeff Hardy in this matchup to go against Young Buck, the Red Dragons, and Cato. Now, this was a 10-on-10 matchup. Everyone really got their spots in the match, which was okay, but at the same time, I feel like there was a lot going on. There was a lot going up in the matchup because this was just a burst of energy. Don't get me wrong. The matchup was fantastic. It was a fast and furious pace. So if, as a fan watching, you really got to pay attention to what's going on in the matchup because action is happening all over the place. I mean, it makes for a great match. It's a fun match to watch. I'll put it like that. But more importantly in this matchup is the Jungle Express and Christian Cage and Darby Allin, those guys, and Matt Hardy. They all came up short in this matchup. They all lost, right? But at the end of the match, it's like Christian Cage is constantly having to come out here and console Jungle Boy. It's kind of heading towards that heel turn from Christian Cage. At some point, Christian is going to get tired of consoling Jungle Boy after each and every loss. Jungle Boy has been taking the pin for losses for his team or the matches that he's been in week after week. Now, they did manage to win their tag team champions. They did manage to retain that belt. But at the same time, it's like Christian has to come out and constantly hold Jungle Boy's hand at this point. And I think Christian is kind of getting fed up with it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Christian do a heel turn and turn on the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. And maybe lead to a feud between Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. I don't know if he'll cost them the titles or what it may be exactly, but I could feel like a heel turn is coming between Christian against Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Now, we also got to see Wardlow in action against JD Drake. Wardlow's red hot right now. You already know he ran through JD Drake like he should have. My thing is with this, you're coming off a really, really big pay-per-view win against MJF. You're free. This is your first time in All Elite as an All Elite member of the roster, not signed to MJF. I don't want to see you go against the likes of JD Drake. No offense to JD Drake, but it's like I just watch you go higher and higher and higher in competition. And just what, a month, 2 month span, you was going against CM Punk, you was going against MJF, even Shawn Spears, Lance Archer, Morsley, like these are real competition. These are guys that's going to help push you and propel you to the next level. So for you to finally be free and then go down and face JD Drake, I thought that was pretty bad booking, but maybe he's in a spot where they aren't really sure exactly what to do with Wardlow. But I have some idea coming up what they could do if they decide to do it. That's on them. We also got to see the team of Ruby Soho and Toni Storm get the win over Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. That was a big victory for Ruby Soho, who managed to actually pin Britt Baker. I think that was huge because Britt Baker did just defeat her in that women's tournament, and that tournament was a match where these two kind of went back and forth. So this could be a hint towards, hey, Ruby Soho and Britt Baker possibly continuing their feud going forward. I can see that happening as well. These women seem to be getting their chemistry a lot better. These two women chemistry has gotten a lot better since Ruby Soho first debuted in AEW. This could be a situation where you keep this feud going because the better chemistry that these women get together, even with Toni Storm in the mix, is the better matches you're going to get down the road. And if we're looking at it maybe a year from now, 6 months from now, and we have to run this feud back, you know the matches are just going to be amazing because they already laid the foundation for what they need to do. They know each other inside out now, so that really helps when you get to wrestle repeatedly against the opponent that you're in a feud with, because when it's time to go to that go-home show, that last match, the ending of the rivalry or whatever, it should make for a really good matchup. Now, speaking of the ending of a rivalry, we got to see Jon Moxley go against Daniel Garcia. Crazy matchup. We just seen these guys lock it up in the 5-on-5 in the pay-per-view. This match looked like a continuation of the 5-on-5. Jon Moxley did manage to pick up the win, and he also managed to get busted open again, and he's added his name to the Blood and Gut match against JAS. So that should be an exciting matchup. We also got the Forbidden Door that's being opened. That pay-per-view should be exciting. That's getting shaped up to be really well. Now let's go ahead and jump over to AEW Rampage and see what's going over there. We have the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. That was an amazing matchup. I feel like these guys outdo themselves every time they match up with each other. This was a perfect example of having great chemistry with the other people you're working with inside the ring. They didn't need weapons. They didn't need anything like that, a special matchup, any stipulation. It was just four guys that know each other front and back, and they put on an absolutely amazing matchup. This had to be the match of the week, possibly the match of the month, even with Hell in a Cell going on in the pay-per-view. But it looked like the Young Bucks is actually putting their name back in the hat for the AEW championships, because a lot of the AEW tag teams was watching this match, and with the Young Bucks pick up the win over the Lucha Brothers, you gotta think that these guys are gonna want to go ahead and challenge for those AEW tag team championships at some point. We also seen Athena. She finally made her debut in a solo match against Kiera Hogan, where she was very successful. The baddies just couldn't get it done. So if Kiera Hogan is now, I would have to think that Red Velvet is next before it end up with Athena and Jade going at it one-on-one for that TBS championship. No one has been able to defeat Jade. No one has been able to take that TBS championship away from her. And right now, I like what's going on because it's actually a highlight on that TBS championship and that women's division right now. So people are actually paying attention to them, and they're putting on a hell of a show. So Athena was a great addition to that women's locker room. Now let's move on to the next championship, Scorpio Sky and Dante Martin. Crazy matchup. Dante Martin is 21 years old. You gotta lock this dude in. He's not even with he's supposed to be a tag team specialist. He's not even with his brother right now. He's doing one-on-one matchups with the likes of Scorpio Sky, putting on absolutely amazing matchups. He keeps you entertained throughout the whole match. Shout out to Scorpio Sky because he was also part of that matchup as well. They kept you entertained, and he managed to retain his championship against Dante Martin. It was close though. Dante had a chance. He had him with a close 2 count, but didn't do enough to put Dante didn't do enough to put Scorpio Sky away, which allowed Sky to hit that TKO. And that was it for Martin. Most guys don't kick out of that. So don't be ashamed. But I love what I see from the young talent in AEW right now. They're really stepping up. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what we really need to talk about. CM Punk, he pretty much had to come out and say, look, I'm injured. I'm going to have to get surgery. got a few broken bones, I believe in his ankle or his leg. But what does that mean for the AEW Championship? I came here last week and I said, yo, I don't think Heyman Page had the best run as AEW champion, and I don't mean as far as putting on good matchups. I don't mean his matches was bad or anything like that. They were great matchups, but I don't feel like people really tuned into AEW for Heyman Page. Not when like the other champions had the belt. They tuned in to see what the world champion was up to, what he was going to do, and I don't think Heyman Page really had that type of pull or really had that type of hold on the crowd. Granted, he's a babyface that everyone loves. I don't think he really moved the needle per se like that as AEW champion. So it was just ironic to me that CM Punk is hurt. They're gonna need an interim champion. So they're gonna have a battle royal. The winner will go in and face who? Not Heyman Page, who was the champion before CM Punk, but they're going to go face the man who was champion before that. And before that, he's going to go face Jon Moxley. You know what I'm saying? Like, the winner of the Battle Royal has to face Jon Moxley in a one-on-one matchup, and that winner will become AEW champion. So I feel like what I said is validated. I didn't see any injuries from Heyman Page. I don't know if he's hurt as well, if he's injured as well, and he won't be able to compete in time. If that's the case, my bad, dog. But I didn't read under that. So with me reading into this, is saying, hey, Jon Moxley moves the needle. He is someone that the crowd likes to see. He's someone as AEW champion who we want the company to be behind, our face of our company, and we want that to be Jon Moxley. Now, what kind of caught me by surprise a little off guard, was CM Punk when he's doing his speech and letting everybody know what's going on with him, how he's injured and won't be able to compete or defend that championship. He named a few names. He named Jon Moxley as one of the guys who could be holding this AEW championship. He named Bryan Danielson as someone who could be holding the championship. It's just weird to me that he named two ex-WWE guys and no homegrown talent from AEW. Why not name Adam Page, the guy you just defeated? Why not name Wardlow, a guy who's red hot right now? Why not name MJF, a guy who's actually disgruntled? But hell, he is the second highest rating guy in AEW, if not the first. Why not name those people? So I feel like this is going to furthermore go into the groove or go into the point of the pipe bomb by MJF. So let's roll into what happened with MJF. He pretty much laid it down the line. I'm not getting paid enough. Ex-WWE stars that come here are being valued more than me. They're making more money than me. I pretty much move the needle. I have to go above and beyond. I have to be perfect every time I come out. And these guys are allowed to make mistakes. These guys barely show up. I have to show it week in and week out. Why am I not getting paid like them? So CM Punk is kind of disgruntled. He called Tony Khan a mark. More importantly, after this promo is when they cut to a commercial, right? They cut to a commercial, and it's a point where CM Punk is actually walking from the back. He runs off MJF. MJF jumps into the crowd. So I'm like, okay, here we go. We're setting up the feud with MJF and CM Punk. Probably one of your highest feuds ratings-wise this year. So we're going to run it right back, which is perfectly fine. You know what you're going to get. And now it's a situation where if MJF win, if he can, defeat CM Punk this time around, he would be your AEW champion. But that storyline goes out the window with the injury to CM Punk. So I don't know if we're just going to hang on to this. I don't see MJF winning the Battle Royal by himself without the help of Wardlow or somebody like that. I could see Wardlow going in and winning this matchup, but you're going to have a red hot Wardlow go to lose to Jon Moxley? Or are you going to have a red hot Wardlow and put the title on Wardlow right now? I don't think he's ready for an AEW championship run. I love what he's doing, but I look at him like kind of like WCW and Bill Goldberg. He's running through opponents. He's going to fight the lesser name opponents, and he's going to slowly build his way up. He's going to take that TNT championship for a long run. He's going to then go win that AEW World Championship at some point, but I don't think Wardlow right now is the guy that you need to have in the forefront to pretty much move the needle or have the company actually behind right now, and that's just my opinion. He's great. He still have everyone behind him, but at the same time, I don't think he's done enough quite yet for people to actually really care about him as your AEW champion. Now, I could definitely see Adam Cole winning winning the Battle Royal for the fact that, hey, you have the whole elite that could possibly be in there with you, possibly help you move on to face Jon Moxley, and you have 4 guys to watch it back, while Moxley only has what? Well, I guess he has 4 as well if Eddie Kingston is going to play nice with Bryan Danielson. If not, you can't forget about that. So I could see Adam Cole winning this Battle Royal. This pipe bomb was possibly ruined by the injury to CM Punk, because if CM Punk is not going to be the feud that we're going to get to with MJF and this whole ex-WWE guy thing, I don't think that's what they want. I think they was trying to move towards that storyline. Now everything has to kind of be rewritten and redrawn up. But that was your AEW rundown for the week. Sorry. Now let's go ahead and jump on to the go-home shows for Monday Night Raw. Then we're going to jump into some predictions for Hell in a Cell. I got some crazy predictions. I don't know, but we'll see if it comes true. Monday Night Raw, we had Bianca Belair defeat Asuka via pinfall. This was one of the most important matchups on Monday Night Raw to me. Why? It's because we seen Bianca Belair and Asuka one-on-one. Why? Why did we see Asuka and Bianca Belair one-on-one right before these two women are gonna face each other in a triple threat match for this Raw Women's Championship? Not only that, you see Bianca defeat Asuka, but after the match, Becky Lynch come in and she attacks Bianca Belair. I feel like this is a situation where you're all but telling me Asuka should go in and win this championship by defeating Becky Lynch at during the triple threat at Hell in a Cell. I say that because she's the afterthought. No one's worried about it. Even Becky Lynch, she comes in. Well, for one, she loses the matchup, and then Becky Lynch comes in, not attack her, but attacks the champ. So with that type of build, I'm thinking, hey, Asuka will go on and win this matchup, but it's weird, man. It's like, I don't understand why you made this matchup in the first place. We could have had a segment where all 3 women just kind of in the middle of the ring, and maybe all 3 women brawl, kind of like Cody and Steph Rollins did, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, what happened on Monday Night Raw? What else we see? We seen Ezekiel and the Mysterios defeat the Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens, picking up steam for that matchup in Hell in a Cell. We seen Alexa Bliss defeat Doudrop. Interesting. I think Doudrop and Nikki Ash need to go ahead and get back on track, or get on a track, I should say. Nikki need to go ahead, fully go heel, embrace the heel, and pretty much turn this like a superhero, turn to a supervillain, and then let Doudrop and Nikki Ash go after those women tag team titles if they still are going to do that. I don't know if they're going to keep the tag team titles or what with these women. We've seen the 24/7 championships change hands multiple times. Eventually, we will see Tozawa walk away with the 24/7 championship. Mustafa Ali defeat Tommaso Ciampa by disqualification. Right after that, Austin Theory comes in and say, yo, you won the matchup like you were supposed to. So now you get a United States Championship shot against me, and the match starts now after a beatdown after the match with Ciampa. I mean, Mustafa Ali, he was just there for the pickings. So Theory, he won the matchup, but after the match, at a Pierce, he would come out and say, look, I want to see Theory, Ali again. Vince McMahon liked what he's seen, what you did. He liked seeing you take initiative, but now he want to see you two fight each other fresh at Hell in a Cell. So now that matchup will happen at Hell in a Cell, and this is one of my other picks. I think Mustafa Ali will now become the United States champion, because week in and week out he has been getting beat down, special referees, handicap matches. This what just happened just now, disqualification win, but you got destroyed for it. Now we're going to see Mustafa Ali, who's been getting beat week in and week out, possibly get a fair one-on-one matchup with Austin Theory. If this is a fair matchup with Austin Theory, I think Mustafa Ali wins the championship at Hell in a Cell. That's another one of my sleeper picks that I got going in. Asuka winning the championship and Mustafa Ali winning the championship. We also seen Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura defeat the Usos via disqualification, but they defeated the tag team champions. That says a big thing right there to me. We possibly may get something going on with that. I don't like the tag team of Riddle and Shinsuke, but I mean, it's 2 good strikers together. Maybe they'll gel, maybe they won't. We'll see. Liv Morgan defeated Rhea Ripley, gaining some much needed momentum going into that matchup with AJ Styles and Finn Balor to take on Edge and Judgment Day by his side. And then to close out Monday Night Raw, we got to see Bobby Lashley sign the contract for the handicap match against Omos and MVP. So they signed the contracts, all hell's break loose, tables get thrown, chairs get thrown, but no blows really get thrown. I don't like how Monday Night Raw went off the air. There was a time where, okay, you got security in the ring. Omos should be able to clear out security by himself in a matter of 10 seconds. Eventually that happens. He eventually gets security out the way. Now, Cedric comes out. He's still trying to prove his loyalty to MVP. And Omos, he attacks Lashley. I don't get it. He attacked Lashley, and Omos and MVP are just kind of staring at Cedric, doing all the work. Eventually, Cedric gets thrown off the ring. Omos finally attacks after that. And it was just a sloppy, segment. That segment should have happened early on in the show, and they should have went off the show with Cody and Seth Rollins, because they brawled in the crowd, they brawled in the ring, they brawled up the ramp, they brawled back down the ramp. They was broken up numerous of times. It took everyone to come out the back, essentially, besides the wrestlers, to break these two up. And it was nice to see Cody get down and dirty, even in his nice three-piece suit. It was nice to see that. Now, that's the type of brawl I want to end off my show with when I'm going into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This is my go-home show. That's what I want to go home with. That's the last thing I want the fans to think of when they first bring up Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins inside this pay-per-view matchup. I want you to think the last time I seen these two, before they get locked inside a cell, is that these two brawled for a good 5 minutes all over the arena. That's what I want before my Monday Night Raw goes off the air. So I don't like the segment at the end with Bobby Lashley, Omos MVP. I think that should have been flipped around. I don't like Bianca Belair defeating Asuka. I think that's a match you wanted to save. I think Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out really put a damper at what they wanted to do in the title scene on Monday Night Raw, even on SmackDown. I don't think Raquel Rodriguez is supposed to be fighting Ronda Rousey so many times. I think Sasha Banks is supposed to be in that spot. I think Naomi is supposed to be in the spot with Bianca Belair one-on-one at Hell in a Cell. So now they're like, okay, we're scrambling, but that matchup should have never taken place. It should have been a segment where all three women are in the ring. They're airing out their grievances against each other, and then let a little mini brawl take place. Whoever you want to come out on top of that brawl, if anyone, fine. Let them hold the ring, let their music hit, and that'll be the last we see of those trio of women going in before Hell in a Cell. Don't like that. Other than that, decent go-home show. I am invested in the matchups that they have so far. So I did like the Monday Night Raw. I just would have flipped a few things around and added a few segments and take out a match. That's about it. Let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown side of things, their go-home show. We did get to see the Usos defeat Matt Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura with some help from Sami Zayn. Sami is still trying to prove himself or create some type of alliance with the Bloodline, even if this alliance get created. What will that really do for Sami Zayn? What do you really want from this, Sami? You don't want to face the big dog. You don't want to be a tag team champion. Do you feel like it's a way for you to get your Intercontinental Championship back? I don't know. But it's entertaining. I will say that much. It's still entertaining. So, Sami Zayn, Bloodline situation, I kind of like it. Hopefully this is the end between Matt Riddle and Shinsuke. Maybe this will lead to a feud with Sami and Matt Riddle before Matt Riddle and Roman go at it one-on-one. I feel like those two are still going to go at it one-on-one for that WWE Championship. I think Matt Riddle has something to prove. I don't think he likes the way that they lost the tag team titles with help from Roman Reigns. So I believe that is something we're going to get to. Now, we got to see the Brawling Brutes. Finally got a name for this trio. Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. They defeat Drew McIntyre and the New Day via pinfall. We got to see Max Dupree, formerly known as LA Knight. He finally gets to talk to Adam Pearce one-on-one. Says he got a surprise. He says he got guys he wants to debut, but he's going to leave that secret for later on. Jinder Mahal, he defeat Humberto. Now in this six-pack challenge, we got to see Natalya. She defeated the likes of Raquel Rodriguez, Chauncey Blackheart, Aaliyah, Shayna Baszler, and Xia Li. Now she has earned herself a chance to go ahead and face the women's champion Ronda Rousey, which we all know what this means. Natalya's gonna go up there. She is gonna job for Ronda Rousey. That's about it. There's no way in the world I think Natalya is gonna win this SmackDown championship. I wish she does. I hope she does win the championship, but I doubt it. You're not going to take the title off your moneymaker right now. Ronda just has too many eyes on the SmackDown product, so she's going to hold this belt for a while. I could see somebody like Lacey, but she's on Monday Night Raw. I could see Bayley coming back. Maybe it's a face role. Or, well, no, I guess she would be a heel role if she want to come back and face Ronda. That would be cool. Charlotte Flair has to come back into the fold. So it's a lot of different things that's going to happen, but I don't see any of these women right now taking that title off of Ronda Rousey, with Raquel Rodriguez being the closest one to possibly do so. You're seeing Happy Corbin defeat Madcap Moss. I am so tired of this going on. And we got to see WWE announced an Intercontinental title match between Ricochet and Gunther. I told you, Gunther needs to win this Intercontinental Championship. When he wins this Intercontinental Championship, that Intercontinental Championship value will shoot right back up. It's been devalued for so long with it being 2 world champions on each brand. Now with it being 1 world champion, that's it, just Roman Reigns, the Intercontinental Championship and your United States Championship. Now you have to bring the prestige back to them titles. Gunther is somebody who can hold that title for a long time and be a dominant champion, a believable champion, someone who can lose that title and go on to face whoever the WWE champion is and believably beat the WWE champion, which means, hey, my Intercontinental guys move up a peg and they can take on the likes of the world champions. Now, the United States title, that's still up in limbo. I don't mind them having the United States Championship, but I don't see too many good feuds coming out of it as well either. Mustafa Ali, I can see him being a fighting champion. I can see him going in and week out and defending his United States Championship against different opponents. And if you want to gain some prestige or gain value back in United States Champion, you got to put on someone who people care about and people love and people think are going to be able to move up to the next level, or is going to actually care for that title and defend that title with honor and dignity. I think Mustafa Ali can actually do that. And if he's fighting week in and week out for that title, for that championship, that means that you're going to constantly have that championship in your face. So if he's holding this belt for a couple of months and he finally loses to somebody like Tommaso Ciampa, who I think the title should be around, or someone like Cody Rhodes, who I think the title should be around, now we got someone of I would say a little bit more, not value, but a higher stature. I think that Cody Rhodes' name is bigger for sure than Mustafa Ali. I think Tommaso Ciampa's name is bigger than Mustafa Ali. And you've seen what Tommaso Ciampa did in NXT, those type of matches that he put on. So that United States Championship is perfect for someone like him. His style, how often he can wrestle. He can give you a week in, a week out. He can cut promos. He's intense. He's everything that you will want in a champion. So a lot of things can happen with that United States Championship, but they have to do something soon. If not, that title will still just be in limbo, and they have to figure out exactly what they want and what they're going to do with the title. Now, that was your rundown pretty much for the go-home shows in WWE. Now let's get into these Hell in a Cell predictions. I already gave you a few, but let's go ahead and run down from, I believe, top to bottom. I think Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are going to be the main event in this, even though it should be Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. If those women are not the main event, they're probably going to kick off the show. Because that's kind of like what Roman Reigns would do. If he's not going to be a main event, he's going to kick off the show and set the tone for the pay-per-view. So, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. I picked Cody to win. I think this is going to be another awesome matchup between the two in this trilogy. I think this will be the end of their feud finally, and this is it. They're done. I could see Seth Rollins possibly getting injured or having to get written off of TV for like 2 weeks or something like that. So if he does come back with some type of a vengeance, it'll probably be at Money in the Bank, where he'll probably look to let anyone but Cody Rhodes win this Money in the Bank briefcase if he wants to reunite that feud with Cody Rhodes. That championship, I said I picked Asuka to win. I think Bianca Belair is the right choice. She's been red hot ever since she lost that match to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. But I feel like this is the chance that you put that belt on Asuka and you get to Bianca Belair and Asuka one-on-one, because that's what they ultimately wanted to get to when they brought Asuka back. And I feel like this is the chance and time to do it without Bianca Belair having to take the pinfall loss, or submission loss, however they want to do it. I think Becky's going to take that loss in that match, and Asuka's going to win. This handicap match, we got Bobby Lashley, Omos versus oh my goodness, we got Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. I think Omos and MVP has to win that matchup, man. They have to move on to something bigger and better. I think Kevin Owens will defeat Ezekiel. I just think it's time to end what's going on there. It's been fun and entertaining to watch. It's been funny segments back and forth, but it's time for Kevin Owens to go ahead and put an end to this. I don't know if he'll prove that it's Elias or not, but I think he does win this matchup. Theory versus Mustafa Ali for that United States Championship. I think Mustafa Ali wins, man. Only way I could see Austin Theory winning and retaining his championship is if he gets some outside help from somebody. If he gets no outside help, and this is a straight one-on-one matchup between the two, I think Mustafa Ali wins. He's been getting beat down week after week. He's going to come into this matchup with a whole different type of fire, a whole different type of intensity. He's going to want to win this matchup, not just because he wants to be champion, but he finally get to stick it to the guy who's been putting him through the ringer for the past month now. Well, since he returned, actually. So I think Mustafa Ali wins if no one else gets involved in this matchup. We also will see Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan go against Judgment Day. I feel like this is the time Judgment Day will win. I don't know if Judgment Day will have a new faction member debut. I don't know if somebody will turn in AJ Styles and Finn Balor and Liv. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I feel like somehow, some way, Judgment Day is going to pull out the win in this matchup. And to be honest, I think Harlan is eventually going to join Judgment Day. I know he's fired. I know he's a free agent right now, and I know he wasn't as what I want to say. I guess didn't live up to the potential from WWE execs or trainers that they wanted him to have. But I think eventually he'll come back and he'll make some noise when he does come back. I don't know when it will be, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him in there with Judgment Day. I could see something like that happening. And we'll also see Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin and no holds barred match. I really don't care. Really don't care, but if I have to give a pick, I'm going to say Madcap Moss, just because I really want to see what Madcap Moss can do outside of being pretty much chained and handcuffed to Happy Corbin. Let this guy go, man. Like, he looks good. He looks great. He talks. He can wrestle. He can move. Let's see what else this guy can do when he's in storylines or he's in the ring with different people, different opponents. I think it's time. If he doesn't live up to it, I mean, man, you know, cuts is always right around the corner in WWE. So, hey, hopefully that doesn't happen. But I think that he can hold his own. I like that guy. But it's time to see what he can do without Happy Corbin. That was everything. We got to CM Punk. We got the MJF. We got the Hell in a Cell. And lucky for you, we're going to drop another video doing a Hell in a Cell replay. We're going to do a recap of Hell in a Cell and everything that went on. Victories, where I was wrong, where I was right. We'll see what takes place. All right. So I will see you guys back here in 24 hours, actually. So you should be seeing this video Monday morning. And Tuesday morning, we'll have the Hell in a Cell replay up. Let me know what you guys think about the predictions. Let me know if you think what's going to happen with the AEW Championship. Who do you see them putting the title on? Do you think no matter who wins the Battle Royal, Jon Moxley just goes over? Or, you know, what do you guys think is going to happen with that championship now being an interim championship? And that champ is going to have to go and face an opponent at the Forbidden Door from New Japan. I think Moxley is the best choice because, you know, his style fits Strong Style perfectly. So, you know, I don't know. And let me know your Hell in a Cell predictions if you have time. You might not have time to do it, so that's fine. Let me know what you guys think about Hell in a Cell in the next video when I do the Hell in a Cell WWE Wrestling Replay. Alright? I'm Cato. I'm signing out. Peace.